Today we celebrate Fully Alive at 35 with our second video interview. Longtime member Rich Avato and his partner Kevin McGee joined our church in 1983. He has been a very active member of our faith community throughout the years, supporting the AIDS ministry, building and grounds, wings, IT support, and is currently serving as the vice moderator of our board of directors. Rich is being interviewed by Brianna Springer, who with her partner Francine White joined MCCPB in 2015. Brianna and Francine share their talents with MCCPB in many ways, including building and grounds, AV support, Fully Alive, and the Under 35 Connection Group.
What caused you to visit MCC of the Palm Beaches for the first time?
Well, back in about 83, 84 time frame, Kevin and I were feeling a lack in spirituality. We were both brought up Roman Catholic. We were both very active in the Catholic Church. But when we got together, we really didn't feel we would be welcomed going to the Catholic Church hand in hand. So we had met some friends from San Diego. They were very, very active in the church in San Diego, and they were talking to us about that church. So Kevin and I looked up MCC here. We started going, and we loved it. And we basically became members for life.
What were the biggest difficulties MCC of the Palm Beaches faced during 1986 to 1991?
The biggest one for the church was the AIDS crisis. During the time, the pastor gave out a call to all the members. We had a lot of people that had come down with AIDS. Back in the day, you were a pariah. You couldn't be touched. If you went to visit somebody in the hospital, it was like you had Ebola. You had to be full garbed. You couldn't touch the person. You couldn't make any contact with them. I had a prior lover who had passed away in '83. They wouldn't even let me into the room to even see him. So it was a whole different story. People were losing their jobs just because they had AIDS. They were losing their homes. Their families were rejecting them. It was a lot different than it is now. You know, the pastor of the church had gotten a lot of calls for people who had lost their jobs and their homes. So he put out to the community, to the church, asking us what we could do to help support these people. So we started a program called Hope House. It was started off where we had people who had lost their homes, and they would actually live with members in their own homes. So people in the church actually took these people on to help them out and get over their times. We started raising money so that we could actually rent out a place that we could house these people. The first one, we didn't last very long because people found out what it was, and it really didn't last. We finally found a second place that was a little bit more long-lasting, and we had people actually live in those apartments. It was like a one-bedroom apartment that people had, and we took care of the people. We would go in and visit them. We would make sure the houses were kept clean and neat, and just help however we could. It was a big struggle for us because we were a very small church at the time, and we couldn't get funding from anybody outside of the church. We could go to, people just wouldn't support us. So it was a really tough struggle for the church at that time. We had another issue going on at the time with the building we were in, which was at the Women's Club on Flagler Drive. That was going to be torn down, so we had to find another place to hold church. So at the time we had a huge strife. There was a split in the congregation. The people who wanted to spend money and make sure we could get a church and build a church and have something really nice. And on the other side, we had the people who wanted to support Hope House and go on with our AIDS mission. So it became a little split in the church for a little while there. But those were our two majors during that time period.
What do you see in MCCPB's future?
Well, I think Leah has talked about it a few times in different sermons, but I think one of our major things is bringing on youth. I mean, if I look at the congregation and the age makeup of the congregation, I would say the average age of our congregants right now is over 50 years old. You know, we can't last with a congregation 50, 60, 70 years old. People are going to retire, they move out of town, people pass away. We have to get youth into our congregation and start building up for our youth. The other thing that I see comes out of our vision statement. And in our vision statement, we talk about a joy-filled, justice-centered community of love. MCC's mission has always been to the gay population, but I think we have to go further than that, be more diverse, bring on our social justice, and take on other needs to support the people around us in the communities.